PantyNectar Podcast here, episode 8. Thank you so much for joining me today for this episode. We have some great things stored. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining. I'm so excited that you're here to discuss some topics with us. I actually have some fun stuff planned that Mr. P here has no idea about. So we'll get to that here in a minute. But if you're a regular here, you already know the deal. Laying in bed, in pajamas, doing the PantyNectar Podcast over here with Mr. P.
Hello, PantyNectar. How are you?
Good.
I would like to tell your listeners that you're in a little less than pajamas. I see you in a white tank top and some sexy red panties right here. So.
Yeah.
So it's good to be here with you, and thank you so much for having me on this wonderful podcast. And glad to be here with the listeners, and it's good to be with the PantyNectar Nation.
Absolutely. So last episode was super fun. If you did not listen to that one yet, we did our first ever live broadcast of a PantyNectar podcast. We're doing one again for this episode. So we are super excited to have all of our lovely OnlyFans members here.
Hello.
True supporters, love them so much. So appreciative. And it is so fun getting to see in real time their reactions to some things. So
Absolutely.
This is a new thing that's been a lot of fun. We've been, I've been doing a lot of new stuff here. It's been busy, but for
PantyNectar's always rolling.
Yeah, always. Never.
Push them forward.
We're never sitting still. So today, for the topic for this episode, I should say not today, but I think I would like us to go over, and I think your input on this can help a lot of the listeners, aka the male perspective on this a whole lot. So.
The men, what's going on, men?
Yeah. So, and not really like a male perspective. I just think that like it'll be interesting to hear from my point of view and from your point of view.
I always have something to say, baby. You know that.
Always. So we are going to discuss the difference between just having sexual encounters between someone and being in love with someone. I think there's a big misconception of if you are attracted to somebody else, then you are not in love with the person that you're with. And it is a tragedy. And oh my gosh, the devastation that's going to come behind it. I think that is one thing that kind of connected you and I, and you can agree or disagree. But I think the fact that you and I both were kind of like, look, you don't tell me what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. As long as we respect each other and let each other know what's going on, then we're good to go. Like that's how I think we kind of mutually agreed on that kind of labeling.
Right.
But I feel like, man, once you slap most people, not everyone, and I'm not saying, everyone has my point of view and that's totally fine. But I just feel like once you slap a label on things, expectations are immediately drilled into the equation. And I really don't think that's fair, especially to someone that, you and I weren't married at first. So you don't know me anything.
And it's when you're in a relationship with somebody or when you're, I guess, courting somebody would be the proper term for that. You're interested in somebody and you're like, man, I really like this chick. And, there's a commonality, it seems like, on both sides sometimes, and usually it's one person in this that wants to really push things further. It seems sometimes, at least that's been the case for me. And anytime that I'm a person, one of my faults is like anytime I feel like someone's getting close, I immediately push away, and so like anytime that I would feel like I was, if I was seeing somebody and things started to get more serious, I know I've talked to you about one time I was seeing this girl and she lived 3 hours away in Houston when I lived in Texas. And, like everything was cool. Then all of a sudden, like we had been, I guess you could call it dating. We were living 3 hours away. But for a month or two, and she calls me, she's like, hey, I'm thinking about there's a position that opened up down where I was living at the time. She's like, I'm thinking about taking that position so I can be down there. I was like,
yikes, no.
Yeah, and it truly, I mean, she is an amazing person. It's nothing against her. That was just my own insecurities, where I for whatever reason was not ready at the time.
But I think expectations is a big part of that.
Well, absolutely, so, and you talk about with us, it was the lack of labeling that we had. It was just the organic growth within our relationship. And, I think, I'm in my late 30s, and it's, you spend most of your you spend a lot of time looking for the perfect person for you. You're like, who is it? And all too often, whatever it is that you're reaching for, sometimes when you're actually out there looking for it, you miss it. And when you're not looking for it, it just slaps you right in the face. And the stars align for us, and I'm very happy for that. And I am definitely in love with you. So.
Yeah. I think I think another big part of like the whole expectations thing, and like the misconception of like love and lust, we can label it that, lust, is definitely like outside perception as well. Because I remember, let me give a shout out to Fancy Paws real quick on OnlyFans. Hey girl. We were actually on, both of us, you and I were on Bumble, and I remember I woke up one morning to this.
Hold on. Could you imagine PantyNectar popping up on your Bumble feed?
There were a few people that were like, you're PantyNectar. And I'm like, oh shit. Gotta go. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
But no, you and I had both been on there, and we were open about why we were both on there and whatever. And I remember waking up one morning, and one of my friends had her friend find your Bumble. And I remember this friend, let's just call her S. S was distraught. She was like, I'm so sorry. For the sake of it, we'll say PantyNectar. I'm so sorry, PantyNectar. Saw him on Bumble. I'm so sorry he's cheating on you. I didn't want to tell you. Da 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 da. And like my response, like I laughed because it like went between 3 or 4 of the friends before they felt necessary to come to me, which is fine. But my response was like, I know he's on there. Yeah. Like, thank you.
Yeah.
You're not, like, 1, it's none of your business. And 2, even if you did tell me that and he was cheating on me, like, okay, now I know he's cheating on me, and what now? Like, well, I don't know. I just don't feel like it's really anyone else's business. And people hide from who they truly want to be because they're afraid of people like that. Like my friends being like, oh my gosh, he's cheating on you. And I'm like,
absolutely. Well, and that whole thing.
I wish she'd bring someone home. Jeez.
That was like a friend of a friend, a friend who then contacts you. But it was before she contacted you. She went back and forth between the friend that told
to decide.
If it's the right. It was like, Jesus, if it's just the fucking right thing to do, then tell her. If not, then don't. People don't. They like to. I don't know. It's just gossip.
And that's the thing. Like, I feel like people automatically think like if you are out looking for something, then you don't love your partner, that you don't communicate with your partner, that you don't have a good relationship with your partner. And it's like,
yeah, and it's everybody casting their projections of what they think how someone else should live their life. Because she's telling you, hey, your husband's out there cheating on you. No, he's not. I know that he had that. Because you think that something isn't okay. That's not the way I feel about something.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, it's the whole thing, man. Just you do you. You live your life. Be happy. And I'll do the same. And, if we'll be friends, we'll be friends. And if not, we'll be nice to each other and coexist around each other. But we don't have to be gossipy or mean or rude or anything like that.
So, hey guys, just hopping on the live. Hey, John. So I guess my question to you is like, do you think you can have relationships with people, aka sexual interactions with people, maybe not relationships, let's say sexual interactions with people, and not fall in love with them, not have an emotional connection to them? I mean, I know the answer to that, but I just want you to, I want to hear your kind of, because you and I had, that was a big discussion about finding out if we were both into that with each other. And you were like, no, wait till you watch me fuck someone. Like, you're going to love the way that I just fucking, use a slut, and it's going to be hot, and, things like that, I think.
Right. And it was like, when we first started, before we even started dating, I told you, because I had gone my whole life trying to live within the confines of the social construct that you're supposed to be monogamous. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not. I think there would be a lot of people that would argue that just on the, the simple existence of the human species. If we were monogamous, there might not be 8 billion people roaming the earth. I think that's the second time I brought up 8 billion people in the second podcast in a row, babe.
Is that? Did you say it last time? Dang, dude. Okay, statistics over here.
No, they're terrible statistics. But where were we going with this, babe?
Love, lust, sex, emotional.
Yeah. So so when we started becoming romantically involved, I told you. Mm-hmm. I told you. I said, I have to tell you something, and for me, it was like, I knew that like you were fucking it for me. And I had this thing in the back of my mind that was not in the back of my mind. It was just weighing all over me like it'd done my whole life. And I knew that if I told you, when I told you this thing, it was the potential in our relationship was going to go one of two directions. And that was that I can't be monogamous. Mm-hmm. That's just not who I am. And I have to have the self-awareness enough to recognize that. And then I have to realize that I love you enough and have enough respect for you to tell you that. So you can be like, look, I'm fucking out of here then. Yeah. You could, at that point you would feel, maybe I see a future with you, but I can't live that lifestyle. And that's okay. Mm-hmm. That's completely fine. But I just had to tell you the way that I felt and the way that I am. We are all different people. We all have things that we enjoy, things we don't enjoy, things that drive us, things that we'd rather not do. Yeah. And thankfully for me and then us, you were more than okay with that. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing about that is that I have not been with any other woman since. Mm-hmm. And I know, isn't that so like it's fucking crazy. So like, and it's not like, and that's not to say like we don't go to the beach and I'm like, fuck, check out this. She's fucking hot. She's hot. I've bang her or whatever. But I'm not out on, I fucking deleted my Bumble and stuff. It's just like, there's really no need for this right now. We have so much going on, and life is so great, and we're busy, and it's just. Now that's not to say if a hot girl wasn't right here, I wouldn't mind being a nice blowjob or something. While we do the podcast, how great would that be?
Oh, just like she just walks in.
Absolutely, yeah. Just come in, get down here, get between us while we're giving a podcast.
I would love that.
That'd be a lot of fun. But so I've spent a lot of time talking about or thinking about that to myself, and your original question of can you be with somebody, i.e. me be with you, be in love with you, and then have carefree sex essentially with somebody else, not be romantically involved with that person. Right. And the answer is absolutely yes, because I've done it fucking my whole life. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, like, that's the thing. When I've thought about this, and my problem with me in past relationships was that I brought up the I'm not monogamous thing before it was too late. Right. And then you try to explain your way through things, and it's just a shit show. So the absolute best thing you can do is be upfront and honest with your partner, especially if this is a partner that, you're just starting to get involved with, you're filling each other out. Mm-hmm. Don't lie to them. Don't play this game that we all do because we want to get the hottest guy or the hottest girl. don't try to act like something you're not or put on a show for that person, because guess what? 1-2 weeks into it or 2-3 months into it, all that shit goes away and the realness comes out. And that's when all that friction really starts. And if you're just truthful, and you're vulnerable with your partner, they'll open up and be vulnerable with you, and you can come together as one and have this fucking amazing relationship.
Absolutely.
And it's just amazing.
It is.
Have a hot chick named PantyNectar.
I want to read some comments over here real quick because it's popping off. Caught your live. I missed much. You did not. And then, so is polygamy popular in high population places?
Is polygamy popular in high population places?
It's interesting. That's an interesting question, John.
Hey,
Thank
thanks,
you.
John, for the question. So I don't know. I'm not a scientist in that regard, but I would think that, first of all, polygamy, as I understand it, is actual marriage, isn't it, with multiple wives? Because I know the Mormon
But I don't know
religion,
if it's legal marriages, though. I'm not sure. I don't know enough about it, to be honest with you.
Right. So like polygamy is actually, I believe, actually like the Mormons, like, or used to, at least. I don't know if they still practice, but one man would have put multiple wives and they'd be sister wives. Isn't there a freaking show about that?
More help, man. More help around here.
But so one man with multiple wives in high population areas, I don't know, but I do, I would think that in high population areas, there may be more, a higher percentage of people have multiple partners. If that makes sense.
I can tell you one thing. When we moved from Texas to Florida, it was an incredible difference in the amount of people that are open about that stuff here. Yeah. I love, and I just love that that's here. A couple more comments. Threesome podcast, possibly.
Threesome podcast.
Foursome.
Can we stay on this topic for a while?
Okay, Jesse and Jackson, seriously love these conversations. Thank you guys. Fancy Paul said I volunteer. And don't tempt me, girl. This is the only podcast I currently listen to. That's so sweet. Thank you so much. And then your dream couple put heart eyes for us. Thank you guys so much. So I think as far as the whole lust and love thing, I think I think the thing that made me connect so much with you and your point of view is that was like, I've always been such an independent person. And so I have not ever lasted very long in my relationships my previous relationships for two reasons. One, I don't like being told what to do. If I want to go out, I want to go out. And
Absolutely.
If I want to stay home, I want to stay home. And if I want to, anything I want, I'm used to doing that.
Absolutely.
And two is maybe a mixture of things, running out of interest. And then, I don't remember what else I was saying, but running out of interest and things like that. But I think that was great about you is you were like, if you want to go out with your friends, like, I don't care what you do. And I'm like, oh my God, I finally have someone that lets me live how I want to live and do what I want to do and be exactly who I can be and doesn't make me feel bad for it. Doesn't shame me. He's my biggest supporter. So
absolutely.
It's very, very,
I cheer you every day. I cheer you
very,
every
very,
single
very
day.
grateful.
And I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
It's incredible. When we were on that topic, when we were out walking, running, we were talking specifically about this, and I was it's interesting how I had this idea of the Berlin Wall that popped in my head, right? And the Soviet Union and how, the wall split through Berlin, and on the east side of the wall was East Germany, on the west side of the wall was West Germany. East side, Soviet Union, communism. West side, supposedly freedom. Mm-hmm. And I sit here and I drew this, and the only thing that divided the two was this wall. Mm-hmm. The wall was erected by men who had certain ideologies, mm-hmm. and they told everybody that lived within this certain perimeter that they were going to live under those same ideologies. Mm-hmm. Yet just right on the other side of the wall, you have people that lived with freedom expression. They were able to go out and produce income, make businesses. And the thing is one wall divided the contrast between the two sides right there. Is just incredible. Now you take that politically and you overlay that sexually, and you see to where people like your dream couple, we watched their content. They have great content.
We love your stuff.
And those guys, they post their stuff. They're out there. They're having fun with what they do. They're comfortable with it. And when you're like that, you don't give a fuck. You don't care about what someone is trying to make you do or make you believe.
Yeah.
And it's like, but most people are living on the east side of that Berlin Wall under society's beliefs, society's ideologies of what they should think sexually or what they should feel sexually. Well, I'm sorry. Everybody feels a different way. So as Ronald Reagan told Gorbachev, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall of sexual fucking bondage that people carry around with them, that society overlays on people.
Okay, so still need to catch up on the last 2 podcasts. These are coming out fast, LOL. We get so excited to come on here and chat with you guys. So I would love to spotlight some lovely reviews that we have gotten from people from all across the different platforms that I have. There's several of them, and let me tell you, I read absolutely every single message.
She literally does.
I may not be able to get back to everyone and respond to everyone in a timely manner, but I try my best, and I promise you that if you reach out to me, it's being read by me. I work so hard to be able to communicate with you guys because I love it so much, and I want to get this message out there as well. What I talk about on the PantyNectar podcast. So first spotlight is going to be from Unknown Engineer 96 on Reddit. Another very incredible episode of your podcast. You are definitely setting new standards for podcast. It was so wholesome and hot at the same time. At the end, OMG, it was so hot listening. Thanks for doing what you are doing. You definitely inspire a lot of people, and your work is so important. Sex needs to be a topic which should be discussed more openly, and I guess it needs a lot of people to open up so others can do that as well. There's a lot of potential in your podcast, and I'm very looking forward to the next episode. So thank you again, Unknown Engineer. I appreciate that so much. It was a very, very kind message. So
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I think Unknown Engineer, first of all, thank you for that message that you sent the lovely PantyNectar.
Yes.
But what he was saying, he said, there's so much potential in this podcast, and he's exactly right. And that potential rests within the community that you've built, right? It's bringing people together to discuss the message that you want to put out, that you've been talking about letting go what others think of you. And if you choose to do something and it's not hurting someone else or yourself, then other people shouldn't judge you for it. And if they do, oh well,
who gives a fuck?
Right, exactly. So having people, like Unknown Engineer here, and the reviews you get, and the people that we're watching right now send in their comments live, it's really cool to see that conversation beginning to take place, and the potential rests within each and every one of your fans listening, and everybody out there. And as we come together and begin to discuss these things, hopefully we can all begin to make a little bit of difference in the world.
Absolutely. Next review I would love to spotlight for episode 8 is going to be a Russell 5150.
And that is a podcast review.
That is a Apple podcast review. So I was especially grateful for this 5-star review. I'm very honored that someone took the time out of their day to 5-star review me. That means a lot. So thank you, A. Russell. The review says, "This is a great and fun podcast. I've followed PantyNectar on Reddit pretty much since the beginning, and to find her podcast was an extra treat. Her and Mr. PN have great back and forth chemistry. They make it feel like you are out with friends listening to fun sex stories."
We could tell some fun sex stories. Oh my God. Could we tell some fun sex stories? No, thank you. So, who was that?
A. Russell.
A. Russell. Thank you so much, A. Russell. It was very nice of you for dropping that podcast review.
Very much appreciate that. Next one was a Reddit chat message. This message is from Stone1069. He said, "Oh my God, I listened to all of your podcasts while at the gym and episode 7 on the way home. Aren't you glad you listened to it on the way home and not in the gym? I was so worked up that I had to listen to it again with my wife. We had the most intense sex ever. God damn, thanks."
Yes. Good for you. Good for you.
Yes. That makes me so happy thinking that like other couples are having great sex thinking of me.
I wonder how many people are fucking right now listening to this.
I bet not a good percentage, but I bet a percentage of people are.
Write the PantyNectar if you were having sex right now. She wants to hear.
So that is all the reviews I have for the spotlight. If you have any topics or any questions or anything that you have for me, please shoot it to me on whatever platform you're on. I promise I'll read it. I get to everything one way or another.
But yeah,
I think
that's all I have, babe. I just want to tell everybody it's December. December is a very, very busy month. A lot of stuff happening, a lot of partying going on. Please be careful out there. Just be responsible and have a good time. And we appreciate you listening. And we can't wait for you to listen again.
Till next time.
See ya.